0dark30.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It's Monday at 0dark30. I hope you're up. I hope you are at the problems, up and at 'em. There are some big problems too, folks, and I want to talk about this. They're trying to shove everything down our throats. Surprise? No. Same old playbook? Yes, it is. Folks, if you think the World Economic Forum is on your side, think again. If you think political parties are on your side, think again. If you think, well, government is on your side, think again. Now, I know you don't. I know you, as a member of the Prepared Mind audience, you don't think like that. You don't think ridiculous thoughts. We're accused of many things, but we're not accused of believing that government and political parties are here to help us. In fact, they're shoving everything down our throats. This is their usual modus operandi. It's their standard operating procedure, their SOP. It is how they work. And it lets you know exactly where we are at. So let's take a look at some examples, and you can decide for yourself, right? Where are these people at? Now, there's a great quote, and it is that government is a fearful servant. Well, like fire, government is a fearful servant and a terrible master. Absolutely a true statement that is timeless and spot on. Now, government, when it is properly restrained. Government, when it has to follow the rules. Government, when it is truly serving the people, is small. It is unobtrusive. It is careful, and it is vigilant not to make mistakes. Government, conversely, that is out of control, that is abusive, that is tyrannical, doesn't care about the people. It doesn't mind if it violates your rights. In fact, it seems to take great pleasure in escalating violence and demanding that it has more and more authority. That's the same, folks, whether we're talking about France from the early 1800s, colonial America from the 1700s. The rest of the colonized world after World War I, governments, English and French, would not release their stranglehold on other people. They continue to shove things down their throat. You'll take this, you'll take that, you'll do as we say. Well, it's happening again. It's been heating up, folks. It's been heating up. But it's here. Only this time, it appears to be taking on a different form. But trust me when I tell you it's exactly the same. This time, it's corporations. Corporations, are run by people. They're not nameless, faceless. They have names, they have faces, they have agendas. The World Economic Forum, folks, World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg Group of the 2020s. They have always been there. It's the same people and the same players. They are the aristocracy, the super rich, the bureaucratic bosses. These are the same people with the same tactics. They claim they know what's best for everyone else, and they force it down everyone's throat. They don't put it up for a vote. Isn't this interesting how we need democracy, so let's shove everything down people's throats? If it was good for the people, you wouldn't have to shove it down our throat. If it was such a good deal, you wouldn't have to convince us. If it really worked, we would line up to take their medicine, whether it's the Jim Jones juice or their social spending programs and their tax programs. But it certainly doesn't feel like it's what's best for us. And that is, shall we say, where the rubber meets the road. Right now, in France, there are massive violent protests. In the Netherlands, there are massive protests. They continue. Now, they won a political battle, so the people are appearing to be in control of their themselves again. But other places, folks, it's just going to continue. It's going to be a shit show. And it's going to continue to get worse. The question is will you stand up to tyranny? Or will you let them shove it down your throat? This is where we're heading. This is precisely where we're heading. You see, the World Economic Forum is telling us you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That's been out a few years now. A few years now. I know. I understand. I get it. But it doesn't make it any more comfortable. In fact, it was rather mundane when I heard it because I kind of thought it was humorous. I thought, really, we'll own nothing, right? It evokes a little laugh, and I'll like it. They tell us we're going to eat bugs. They provide us meat substitutes and tell us it's good. I don't think so on all counts. Did they, when the people learned about this, did the World Economic Forum leadership, did the billionaires and corporations back off? No. They're the same people. It's the same thing, folks. They're going to shove it down your throat, whether you like it or not, until you start to revolt. Now, back in the 1700s, the aristocracy, after watching King Louis get his head cut off, and then again in the early 1900s when the Romanov family, that would be the Russian Tsar, his entire family got killed. Not only the king and his wife, but his daughters were also bayoneted to death because of the revolt. Right? The rich people decided to back off, and let the people breathe, give them some room. Now, of course, in Russia, they became communists. And the communist government ended up slaughtering its own people. They're not going to back off. This is what they do. They're going to shove things down our throat until we revolt. Are you prepared for that? Right? You got communists still thinking that communism is going to save their dumb asses. And you got people who believe that democracy still exists and it's going to operate and you can go vote. And it's going to matter. Well, you can go vote, but it's not going to matter. All it's going to do is reinforce the fact that we're gone and we're down this road and shit has hit the fan. I'm not going to tell you not to vote. I want you to vote because I want you to be aware and I want you to be pissed off when you see which way it goes. We need to stay after these pieces of shit. And pieces of shit they are. It is, folks. Corporations are nothing more than the aristocracy, the counts, the dukes, the earls, those people, right? The lackeys of the kings and queens of Europe. They've just changed their clothes, but they still stink, right? They've changed their names, but they're still the same on the inside. They shove things down your throat. They take from you and tell you you should be happy. Doesn't that sound a lot like Marie Antoinette? Let them eat cake. Though cake was not cake as we know it. The cake she referred to was the black crust that builds up inside a wood-burning stove. Because back then they baked and they used wood, and everything would crust all over the place. Cake. Let them eat cake. Well, now it's let them eat bugs. Force them to eat bugs. Folks, they're not even asking. They're telling you. They're shoving it down your throat. You're going to eat bugs. You're going to eat fake meat, factory goo. And they have hinted, folks, on more than one occasion, and they are very, very, very serious about cannibalism. Well, that's how you get rid of bodies, folks. You quit processing animals for your food and you start processing other humans. Oh, it's going to come. They're going to force it on us, folks. They're going to force it down your throat the same way they forced the Jim Jones juice, and they're still doing it. They're still pushing that shit, despite all the facts, despite all the evidence. They're forcing it. I don't believe they're going to stop until people start keeling over in vast, vast numbers. It won't change. They're not going to change, right? When they say a tiger can't change its stripes, they're going to force it down your throat. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi.
The darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.